Welcome to this week's live video. The big news is the continuing strength of China's exports, despite the global drag on trade from the Iran war. The latest proof of that, China's Ministry of Transportation announced earlier this week that in the first 3 weeks of March, 20 million containers transited China's ports. While that's actually down a bit from the first 3 months of the year, which saw a 12% rise, it's still up 6% over the same period last year. So what's driving these overseas shipments? A large part of it has to do with the continuing global AI boom, with China's exports of semiconductors soaring as they go into global production of data centers and power equipment. China got off to a good start this year with exports before the war, with overseas shipments up 22% in the first 2 months, which was way beyond what most economists were expecting. And much of that was related to advanced tech. Advanced semiconductor exports were actually up 73% in the first 2 months. Last year, overall AI-related exports from China made up almost 20% of all of its exports. That's according to ANZ. China now accounts for about 30% of the global share of AI-related exports. That's far higher than another major exporter of AI-related goods, which is South Korea, which only has about 6%. So also very important for China's continued trade success are the so-called new three products: electric vehicles, lithium-ion batteries, and solar photovoltaic cells. That is all not to say that China is not feeling the pinch in its factories, particularly in its small and medium-sized ones. For those factories producing products that are oil or petroleum derived, things like textiles and apparel, plastics and rubber, they are very much feeling the pinch. They're cutting output and they are laying off workers, which is a major problem, and not good, by the way, for consumption going forward either. Remember, China has been driving its economy for at least the last year with net exports, which made up almost a third of growth in 2025. Exports were up last year 5.5%, far better than most countries around the world. And China had a $1.2 trillion surplus, the largest it's ever had. If the war keeps on going, this will start to hurt China very much as well. The IMF earlier this week said that for every 10% rise in global oil prices, the global output will fall by from 0.1 to 0.2%. That will certainly hurt China too. But for now, China very much is weathering the Middle East war, and we'll have to see what comes next on that front, and therefore for the global economy and for China's trade. That's it for this week. Tune in at the same time next Thursday.